Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the last meeting in December of the Delaware Public Service Commission. And I know it's a Christmas season and everyone's chattering, but let's see if we can get to work here on the business of the Public Service Commission. The first thing on the agenda is the meetings of November 24th. And on those minutes, there is a little extra verbiage at the end. So we want to strike the words "and a couple of minor solar situations," end of quote, mainly because we couldn't figure out why we said that. But I believe that the remainder portion of that, in very concise and clear language, describes what the discussion was about. Is there anyone who has any changes or suggested changes, amendments to the minutes of November 24th? May we have a motion to approve the minutes of November 24th?
I so move as amended.
I'll second the motion.
Is there any discussion on the motion to approve the minutes of November 24th? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed or any abstentions? The motion passes unanimously. Minutes of December 3rd, both public and executive session. Any changes, modifications to those proposed minutes? A motion, please.
I move the minutes for December 3rd, second as submitted.
I second.
And that is both public and executive session?
Public and executive.
Is there any discussion on the motion to approve both public and executive minutes of December 3rd? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes.
Abstention.
Oh, yes,
I
that's
wasn't
right.
here.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Conaway. One abstention. The consent agenda, is there a commissioner who wishes to have a matter on the consent agenda taken off or considered in some other fashion?
Move we adopt the consent agenda as presented.
I second it.
Is there any discussion on the motion to approve the consent agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And any abstentions? The motion passes unanimously. The regular agenda, number one, is in the matter of the investigation into the solicitation practices of Starion Energy PA Incorporated. Proposed order number 8829, Ms. Donahue.
You have before you proposed order number 8829, which deals with staff's investigation into complaints that were received regarding Starion of PA Inc. The complaints started coming in December of 2012. This was approximately a month or two after this company had been certified as a third-party electric supplier, quote, broker. As directed by this commission in a previous order, staff had been investigating these complaints and had fielded and sent out discovery requests and responses, and also had looked into the complaints. There was also a meeting held between the company and the DPA and staff. In part of the investigation, there had been a publication soliciting comments from the public, and no one had sent in written comments in response to the publications. As stated in staff's report, which had been sent to you in your commission package, as of April 11th of 2013, all the complaints that staff had received had been resolved. So as of this date, there are no outstanding consumer complaints regarding this particular company. Therefore, at this time, staff is recommending that the commission close this particular docket based on insufficient evidence at this time that the company has not insufficient evidence at this time to pursue a formal complaint against this company. Sorry, I'm struggling here, which is why you have proposed order number 8829, which would close the docket based on staff's report. If you have any questions, Ms. Malika did prepare the report, but Ms. McDonald is here who can assist me with answering any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Donahue. Is anyone here from Starion Energy Incorporated? Would you like to come forward? Welcome to the commission meeting, and have a seat, please. And whoever is going to make a presentation, kindly announce yourself for the record, and please proceed after that's accomplished.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Tara Latimus. I'm an attorney at Eckerd Siemens in Wilmington, and I represent Starion. This is my client.
How are you? Alexandria Isaacs, Starion Energy. I'm their general counsel.
And we really have nothing to add to the process, Your Honor, this afternoon. We're just here to observe and make sure that the order gets entered.
Okay, thank you very much. Ms. Iori?
Thank you, Chair Wisdom, Commissioners. The public advocate has no objection to the entry of the order.
Is there anyone here from the public who wishes to make any comment with respect to this matter on the docket? Seeing none, any commissioners have any questions of the parties with respect to the proposed order? Well, I think we should do what learned counsel for the respondent indicated she was here for. I think we should vote on this.
Move we adopt order number 8829.
Is there any further discussion with respect to proposed order 8829? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes unanimously. Best wishes to Starion Energy Incorporated.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is in the matter of the adoption of rules and regulations to implement the provisions of 26 Delaware Code Chapter 10 relating to the creation of a competitive market for retail electric supply service. I'm very happy to introduce Mr. Geddes, who's been working on this for a while, and let us know about the proposed order number 8830.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the Commission. This order would approve publication of proposed amendments to 26 Dell Administrative Code, Section 3001, Rules for Certification on Regulation of Electric Suppliers, otherwise fondly known as Regulation 49. Now, I'm not sure, because I did not go back and look, but it may have been working through the system longer than the representative's case that we'll hear on bill transparency. I'm not sure. I think it's a close competition. But in any event, I can assure you that we're not done yet with regard to this one. So we may still win the ultimate prize in terms of having a docket open for more than 1 or 2 years. But this is a serious matter, and these regulations are complicated. And there's a lot of work being done, not only in this docket, but in other related dockets with regard to electric suppliers and concerns that have been raised by some senators and representatives about billing and access to lower energy costs. So this is sort of a half step. This is not resolving all the concerns that have been identified and discussed in workshops, but it attempts to at least make some modifications to the regulations that are not controversial. And hopefully, I believe most of the people that have participated in the workshop agree that these are some of the more easier comments and changes to make. And so therefore, staff felt it was important to go ahead and publish these amendments and get them hopefully approved, receive obviously additional comments if there are any, and move the process along. But I wanted to at least point out to the Commission that there will be more work that needs to be done because some of the more controversial concerns have not specifically been addressed in these proposed amendments. But this does move the process forward, and hopefully there's no opposition to going ahead and getting these published in the Registrar in January, which is what this order does. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Geddes. Are there any, out of curiosity, are there any retail electric supply service companies that wish to be heard in this matter? My telephone was just telling me that it should be turned off in the meeting. Does any commissioner have any questions of Mr. Geddes with respect to the proposed order? Does Iori have any comments on behalf of the public?
No comments on the entry of this proposed order. We may have comments on the actual regulations.
silence has enveloped the room. I assume that means that we're ready to proceed with a motion.
Motion to approve order number 8830
I
as
second it.
presented.
And seconded by Commissioner Correa. Is there any further discussion on the motion to approve proposed order 8830? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you again, Mr. Geddes. And it's good to hear that will be ongoing because, as you indicated, the low hanging fruit, I guess, has been
Bless you.
taken care of, and there are other important issues remaining. Number 3 is in the matter of the legislative petition for review and recommendation of Delmarva Power and Light Company utility bill transparency. We've got proposed order 8835. I gotta find that. Welcome, Representative. Counselor. I guess on this one as well, Mr. Geddes, if you could lead off the discussion, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, I'd be happy to, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. This order attempts to memorialize the commission's deliberations at its last meeting, in which the commission considers staff's memorandum and comments by the various parties who participated in those deliberations. And the commission decided that there should be some changes, further changes to the Delmarva's customers' bills with respect specifically to the qualified fuel cell provider. And there were 2 options put on the table, one by Commissioner Gray, which would break out information with regard to QFCP and the other renewable costs. And then Commissioner Correa suggested that an alternative could just be a descriptive line on the bill that would put forth the same information. This order attempts to capture that request and orders or directs Delmarva to redesign the bill and bring it back before the commission to make sure that it complies with the commission's guidance. And so what this does, it directs Delmarva to pursue one of those 2 options and to work out the details of additional modifications. I assume they will take input from the participants who have been concerned about this particular issue and report back to the commission within 45 days. And the commission then can consider the revisions to make sure that they are comport with the commission's desires with regard to this issue, and that's what the order does.
Thank you, Mr. Geddes. Representative Kowalko, would you like to be heard?
I have nothing to say, just that I'm glad we got to a certain point in time that I see resolution very clearly in the future. So thank you, and thank to the commission and staff and all of the parties that were participants in this docket. I think that we've done some valuable work for transparency.
Thank you, Representative Kowalko. Mr. Goodman?
Your Honor, I think that it's a very nice order, and I think it's clear, and I want to sound like a broken record, which maybe a lot of people here don't even know what that is anymore. I see Commissioner Conaway laughing. Or scratch CD, although people don't even know what that is. But and now I'm going to repeat something before about Mr. Smith. But he sent around a nice first draft of the order to everyone. There were a few comments that he said, "Yeah, I think that helps clarify it. Thank you." And so I just really appreciate the way he did it. And I think it's a great order as a result of the fact that he got input from the parties. Nice changes came in from Representative Kowalko, and I think it's a great order. So thank you. I support it.
Thank you, Mr. Goodman. Mr. Nichols, you seem to be back there, and it's not like you to be reticent. Do you want to say anything about the order?
I was just going to make sure it was going to be implemented as we discussed and everything's in order, so I too am happy.
And same with Mr. Stevenson. Is he back there somewhere? There you go.
Have to do a little dance.
Perhaps we should memorialize the transcript.
Mr. Bonar or Ms.
In the holiday spirit.
Yes. Mr. Bonar or Ms. Iwari?
The public advocate is happy with the form of order.
Any commissioners have any questions of the parties with respect to the form of order?
I just have a question on the bottom of page 3. There's a footnote, the qualified fuel cell provider, sometimes referred to as blue card. Is it necessary to have that footnote in there? Do you care?
No, I mean, no, because I think it's called the Qualified Fuel Cell Provider dash Renewable Capable. That's what it's called on the tariff. So I don't think it's necessary, but it's we wouldn't have any objection to removing it. I don't think it. In fact, the charge actually goes to Diamond State Generation. That's the project. It is, I believe, still an affiliate of Bloom Energy, but I'm not even sure about that. Yeah, right here.
Any other questions of the parties?
I appreciate the commissioner's concern, but I think it's more in line with the intention of the petition that we brought, that phraseology remain in there, but that's certainly the rights of the commission.
If the parties have no questions, I'm fine.
May we have a motion with respect to the proposed order?
I'll move that the commission adopt order number 8835 as submitted.
Is there a second? I second it. Is there any further discussion with respect to the motion?
Yes, Commissioner, I have a question. I want to clarify with Commissioner Drexler, were you proposing or insisting that revision be applied to the order?
If the parties who drafted the order are comfortable with that footnote, then I'm comfortable with the footnote. So if you guys are comfortable with it, then I'm okay. That was my only question.
If I might.
Sure, absolutely.
It's more a contextual issue. Originally, when the statute was passed, the idea was that this is for the application for a provider.
Right.
And the consideration by the commission, comment, qualified fuel cell provider, and I believe Commissioner Conway was the one who suggested a minimum charge, and that's sort of carried through. And the idea being that some people might not know what a qualified fuel cell provider is, but they know what, from the prior context of the concern about the charge, they know what that is. And so the idea is just to footnote it so people realize that the two are
The same.
and I think it's informational, it's not required.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Abstain.
Motion passes 4-0 with one abstention.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to all the parties. Thank you,
And,
Representative.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
What was it, 2015? Merry Christmas. And all the other years we missed.
Number 4 is in the matter of the request for approval of standard office service rates, procurement cost adjustment, and RARM filing. Ms. Scott, on behalf of Delmarva Power, welcome.
Thank you, Chair Winslow and Commissioners. This is an application by Delmarva Power to amend a prior order that was adopted by the Commission in docket 15-0889. Docket 15-0889 was our application for establishing or implementing the 2015 SOS rates. And the Commission on May 5th adopted Order 8731, which approved the revised rates, implemented them on a temporary basis subject to refund. The order also required that we publish notice of what occurred by approving the order, and that was to be done on May 21st and May 22nd. Delmarva inadvertently did not publish the required notices and unfortunately did not discover that until recently. Immediately upon discovering that, we did reach out to staff and started conversation about how to remedy the situation. We did, in the meantime, as we often do when rates change, we did on June 1st issue a press release advising customers of the rate change, and we also did bill inserts for the billing period June 1st through June 30th.
so that it was not a surprise to our customers. But unfortunately, we inadvertently missed the publication of the public notices, so we were here today to rectify that situation. Presented you with an amended order, which would set new dates for publication, which would be January 5th and 6th, and establishing a new deadline for submission of comments, which is the end of January. And then, once all of that is done, hopefully finalize this particular docket.
Thank you, Ms. Scott. Ms. Bayrak?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. As Delmarva's counsel has accurately described, the order before you, which is an amended form of order number 8731, document 15-0889, as Ms. Scott stated, as soon as the problem was discovered, it was brought to staff's attention, and we began working through a solution to remedy failure to publish notice, which is to publish notice and reopen the intervention period and the comment period, and staff is in support of this order. I would also note that docket number 15-0890, which is number 5 on the agenda, is essentially similar, and if the Commission and Council for Delmarva is okay with it, we could proceed together on both motions.
Well, let's do that.
That's fine. The remedy is essentially the same publication date as accepted. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bayrak. Ms. Iori?
Thank you, Chair Winslow. The public advocate supports both orders with both cases.
Thank you, Ms. Iori. Any commissioner have any questions of the parties with respect to the proposed amended order? Orders.
And just for the record, in docket number 15-0890, it would be amended order number 8732. It would similarly change the publication dates to January 5th and January 6th, and open the intervention and comment period until January 26th, 2016, and then order 8731 as amended, as we've already discussed.
Thank you, Ms. Bayrak. May we have a motion with respect to proposed amended order number 8731 and 8732?
Move that we adopt amended orders number 8731 and 8732 as presented.
I'll second it.
Is there any further discussion on the proposed amended orders? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposition? Any abstentions? The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Scott and Ms. Bayrak and Ms. Iori. That leads us to number 6 on the calendar, which is in the matter of the application of Tidewater Utilities Incorporated for the approval of the semi-annual adjustment to the DISC. We've got proposed order number 8833. Welcome. We've got, I can't remember your name, I apologize.
Kirsten Higgins.
Yes, Ms. Higgins, welcome again, and
Thank you.
please tell us what you all want.
Good afternoon, Chair Winslow and members of the Commission. Tidewater Utilities, Inc. comes before you today seeking approval to reset its distribution system improvement charge to 1.06% on an interim basis subject to audit and final approval. The requested rate is expected to result in additional revenues of approximately $148,535. This rate is expected to increase residential customers' bills by approximately $1.34 per quarter over the current rates. I'm here to answer any questions you may have, and we are in support of the form of order before you today.
Thank you, Ms. Higgins. Ms. Donahue?
Yes, perhaps I'm overqualified or overpaid. I would have said probably the same thing that Ms. Higgins said, but before you is proposed order number 8833.
I don't think there's anybody has any idea that you're overpaid, Ms. Donahue. Believe me, none of the state employees in this room are overpaid.
Thank you for
I'm
correcting.
sorry Representative Kowalko left.
8833 does deal with Tidewater Utilities, Inc.'s DSIC. It is a reset of the DSIC. They are requesting implementation of 1.06%. This is based on the net additional plant and also semi-annual depreciation expenses. As Ms. Higgins has pointed out, there will be a review by staff It's an annual review and reconciliation. Therefore, these are interim rates. They are permitted to take effect. They are not set rates, and we will confirm the final numbers later this spring. And when I say we, I mean Josh and Amy, staff in particular. So we would urge the commission to adopt proposed order number 8833, which would allow these DSIC rates to go into effect starting on January 1st of 2016.
Thank you, Ms. Donahue. Ms. Iori?
Thank you, Chair Winslow. The public advocate supports the proposed order.
Is there anyone here from the public who wishes to be heard in this matter? No one apparently. Any commissioners have any questions of the parties on this matter?
I have a question. Is this bill, does this bill go out monthly or quarterly?
Quarterly.
Okay, thank you.
Chair, I move that the commission adopt order number 8833 as
Second the motion.
Is there any further discussion on the motion to approve proposed order number 8833? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Donahue, Ms. Higgins, and Mr. Bowman. Thank you for your work and for your continued work in this matter. The next matter on the agenda is number 7 in the matter of the application of Artesian Water Company for the approval of the semi-annual adjustment to the DISC. Welcome to Mr. Shrepler and his fine associate.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jack Shrepler of General Counsel for Artesian Water Company, and with me is David Valcarengi of our Rates Department. I'd like to first wish everybody a Happy New Year, a Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy Festivus for the Seinfeld fans, any other winter holiday that anybody celebrates.
Isn't this what I'm supposed to say? You celebrate all those, Jack?
Yes. This is the same application that Tidewater just had, distribution system improvement charge. Just want to tell anybody in the room who might not know that this is recovery of capital improvements that a water company has added in between rate cases. And those improvements are non-revenue generating. They don't add any new customers. So it's a replacement of aging mains or maybe a treatment of a newly regulated contaminant, those kinds of capital investments. We are in agreement with Ms. Woodward's memorandum on behalf of staff and the form of order. Artesian bills monthly. This is a 0.58% increase resulting in additional 22 cents per month to a typical residential customer.
Thank you, Mr. Shrepler. Ms. Donahue?
Yes, proposed order number 8832 would allow the company to put into effect on a temporary basis and subject to staff's annual reconciliation and audit the requested DSIC rate of 0.58%. All of the conditions which are set forth, I believe Mr. Shrepler has also noted, the audit, reconciliation, and very nicely stated regarding the capital improvements. So staff would urge the commission to adopt proposed order number 8832.
Thank you, Ms. Donahue. Ms. Iori?
Thank you, Chair Winslow. The public advocate supports the proposed order.
Is there anyone here from the public that wishes to be heard by the commission? Thank you, Ms. Iori. And any questions of the parties? Got a chance to ask Mr. Shrepler some questions. I can't pass this up. I guess there aren't any.
Move we adopt order number 8832 as presented.
I second.
Is there any discussion on the order to approve, the motion to approve proposed order number 8832? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed, any abstentions? The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Strumler, Ms. Donahue, Ms. Iori, everyone. The next familiar name in the water company is Sussex Shores Water Company, and they're in here for, with respect to their DISC. Is there anyone here from Sussex Shores Water Company? Okay, they're pretty confident, I guess, in their petition. And Ms. Donahue.
Yes, you have before you proposed order number 8834. This is the first DSIC rate that the company is implementing since their last rate case. The requested amount of the DSIC is equal to 2.83%. This would go into effect on January 1st of 2016, and again, subject to annual reconciliation by staff and staff's annual audit. And as Mr. Bowman has urged you to, and I do also, we would propose that you adopt proposed order number 8834.
Thank you, Ms. Donahue. Any questions of Ms. Donahue? Is there anyone here from the public that wishes to be heard? I forgot to ask that, I think. There's no one, apparently. May we have a motion on this matter, please?
One question.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Does this company bill monthly or quarterly?
It's per month.
Yeah.
Do they bill monthly?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Move we adopt order number 8834 as presented.
I second it.
Is there any further discussion on proposed order number 8834? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Donahue. Number 9 is in the matter of the application of Tidewater Utilities for a long-term debt obligation, proposed order number 8836. Welcome again, Ms. Higgins.
Thank you. Good afternoon again. Tidewater on this second matter is requesting your approval regarding the issuance of up to $1.2 million of long-term debt with a fixed interest rate of 2% from the Delaware Drinking Water State Revolving Fund. Proceeds of the loan will be used to fund capital improvements within the Camelot Mobile Home Park, which is in Tidewater's Rehoboth District. The improvements consist of replacing the existing water pipes in the system, all of the mains, and adding fire hydrants to that system. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions, commissioners?
Thank you. I have a question. I'm looking for the statement in the order. I don't see it, but in the staff memorandum, it says, after project completion, Tidewater shall pay the loan for a maximum of 20 years. Is there a date certain or a date range of completion?
A date range of when the project will be completed?
Yep.
The project is, all the distribution main is in service right now. It's been tested, and we're in the process of changing over the services for each home from the old main to the new main. So we expect it to be done within just a few weeks.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I have a question.
Commissioner Correa.
For the commission's information, the staff memorandum, and on the page number 3, there is a page called capitalization ratios. The 4th item on the left is retained earning. See, the total capital of the company is $65 million, and the retained earning is $37 million. This is like a joy to any finance person. It's a solid company in terms of financial management, and the figures you provided are excellent in this report, so thank you for that.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other questions? Any commissioner?
Move we adopt order number 8836 as presented.
Second.
Is there any further discussion on proposed order 8836? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Higgins. And number 10 is in the matter of the application of Delaware Power and Light Company to revise their utility facility relocation charge rate. And that's proposed order number 8837. Ms. Scott.
Thank you, Chair Winslow and Commissioners. This is Delmarva's application to revise the rate for its utility facility relocation charge, which is imposed to recover costs the company incurs to relocate gas facilities as a result of projects undertaken by the Department of Transportation or other governmental agencies. We are here seeking a change to the rate based on costs incurred for the period April 1st, 2015 through September 30th, 2015. The new rate being proposed is 1.95%. This would go into effect on a temporary basis subject to review and audit, and we support the proposed form of order that is currently before the Commission.
Ms. Mayrack? Thank you, Ms. Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, with respect to order number 8837 and docket number 15-1601, staff is in favor of adoption of this order. As Ms. Scott stated, this opens the docket, establishes rates as of January 1st, 2016, and these rates, as well as the recovery period, are subject to review by commission staff, and that audit will be undertaken in the coming weeks and months. And Mr. DeLosa is available if there are any questions for staff.
Thank you, Ms. Mayrack. Ms. Iori?
Thank you, Chair Winslow. The public advocate supports the proposed order.
Thank you. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to be heard in this matter? Any commissioners have any further questions of the parties or a motion with respect to the proposed order?
I second.
Is there any further discussion on the proposed motion? Well, it is a motion, the proposed order. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Scott, and everyone. We have another one from Ms. Scott in the matter of number 11, the application of Delaware Power and Light Company to establish the rate for the utility facility relocation charge to recover costs incurred in connection with the relocation of electric utility facilities.
Thank you, Chair Winslow.
That, when I see that sign, utility construction work ahead, is that what this covers?
That would be correct, yes.
How come we don't have Mr. Howard, how come we don't have a utility regulation work ahead sign for the front of our office? Okay, I'll take that up at a different time.
I think we'll do that.
Thank you, Ms. Scott.
Thank
Forgive
you,
me.
Chair Winslow and Commissioners. Similar to the application you just considered for our UFERC for gas, this is our UFERC with respect to electric charges. This is actually our first application to establish the rate under the statute and regulations that were implemented. This would cover the costs that we've incurred from the period of our last rate case, which had a test year ending of December of 2012. So it's taking us from that period through to September 30, 2015. The proposed rate is 0.36% that would be effective January 1st, 2016. Again, this would go into effect on a temporary basis, subject to review and audit by staff, and we support the proposed form of order that is before you.
Thank you, Ms. Scott. Ms. Mayrack?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Similar to the order considered in the prior docket, staff is in support of order number 8838 in docket number 15-1603. As Ms. Scott has stated, this will put temporary rates into effect on January 1st, 2016, subject to review and audit by staff. And Ms. Marshall is available if there are any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Mayrack. Ms. Iori?
Thank you, Chair Winslow. Public advocate supports the proposed order.
Is there anyone here from the public that wishes to make any comment on this matter? Hearing none. Any commissioners have any questions of the parties? May we have a motion on the proposed order 8838?
Motion to approve order number 8838 as presented.
Seconded.
Any discussion on the motion to approve proposed order number 8838? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes unanimously. Thank you all, everyone. Ms. Marshall, thank you. Hearing schedule is, first thing is in the matter of the application of Delaware Power and Light Company for the approval of the 2016 program for the procurement of solar renewable energy credits. And my recollection of this matter is that there is a request from Delmarva to table the application and cancel the evidentiary hearing, and if there's no opposition, as a matter of fact, the other parties all are agreeing to that request. Is that correct, Ms. Scott?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Does anybody else have any comment to make with respect to what Delmarva is asking, or in addition to what you've already put on the table? Any commissioners have any questions about this reschedule is based upon the reasons set forth on the record and the memorandums we received?
Mayor, I have a question. I can get this now. I have a question for Denrek. Just a moment, in the Delmarva letter here, it says we'd anticipate requesting the application be considered by the commission sometime after February 1st, 2016. We'll notify staff when we're ready to move forward. Is there kind of a date certain, a date range from the Denrek side when that matter in their authority will be completed?
Commissioner, currently the status of the regulations are that we've received public comment. The public comment period has closed. DENREC will be responding to those comments and publishing the final regulations. The anticipated date is January 1st in the register. So in terms of from the final regulations to when they're promulgated, hold that. Okay. So we anticipate that they will become effective sometime in the winter 2016.
Thank you. No further.
May we have a motion to approve the request that this matter be, that the evidentiary hearing be canceled and this matter be tabled until the approximate date noted in the request.
So moved.
Seconded.
Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions, the motion passes unanimously. Thank you all. Ms. Noyes, while you're here, is there any comments you'd like to make on behalf of the department or us?
If you give me a moment, I can report and I will give you the address. We have, the Division of Energy and Climate has moved its office, and if I'm going to look at the footer on my own email to give you the address.
500.
We have moved. We've consolidated our offices with several other divisions within DENREC. We are now located at 100 West Water Street, Suite 5A in Dover, 19904. We are now within walking distance of downtown Dover, though your offices remain just beyond walking distance.
This is all done. This is all done for the convenience of Ms. Scott, whose office is at 102 Water Street, right?
Yes. And since I seem to spend a fair amount of time with lawyers, I think it
works out well. That's good. That's very good. Thank you, Mr. Noyes. Is there anyone else from the public that wishes to make any comment to the Public Service Commission? Hearing none,
Mr. Chairman, before I want to take my hat off as public advocate and just say that I'm exceptionally grateful that I was moved into that. So, as you all know, I had in a recent completed life, I had the opportunity to worry a lot about those buildings that were built down at the area of Water Street and State Street that had remained vacant for a long period of time. I'm particularly glad to see Tom and the rest of the people at DENREC move into those offices and make them a vital part of downtown.
thank you, Mr. Bernard. The director's comments, Mr. Howitt. There's a straight, Mr. Howitt, please make an explanation. I've heard all those other water companies we talked about before, but there's this Suez matter. What's this all about?
Well, Chairman Winslow, Commissioners, 1 second before I get to that, I would like to echo Mr. Bonar's congratulations on DENREC moving into their new facilities. The reason I'm very happy that they've moved into their new facilities is our continuity of operations plan will undertake an MOU to trade facilities with them at any point in time we are unable in this building to work. So I'm very pleased that they'll have some additional space over there that they'll be able to house the Public Service Commission when our building burns down, heaven forbid, or whatever happens. I'm very pleased to know that they have a facility for us that we'll be able to work at. Yes, Chairman, Commissioners, we are indeed very lucky to have a new water company with us. Otherwise, previously known in their previous life as United Water, they've been a holding company of Suez for some time, and I believe they've now changed their name. According to your last commission meeting, you approved the change to Suez Water Delaware. We have some very distinguished people here with Suez Water Delaware. I believe Mr. Larry Finicum, their regulatory manager, is going to lead the presentation. I know we have Mr. Hollenbeck here, Mr. Prettyman's here, and of course we have Tom, who's going to be managing the displays. So.
We have the most esteemed member of the Bar of New Jersey, who is General Counsel of Suez Water, and also the incoming President of the National Association of Water Companies. So, Mr. Walton Hill, your presence is appreciated, and thank you for being here. And best wishes on your upcoming year as the President of NAWC. Mr. Finnick, sir.
Good afternoon, Chairman, Commissioners, DSC staff, Public Advocate staff, and other interested parties. First and foremost, I want to take a minute to say thank you to the Commission for allowing us to come here today to give a State of the Company presentation. Again, my name is Larry Finicum. I'm the Operations Manager for Suez, Delaware, and we're grateful for the opportunity to update you today on some key issues and key initiatives that are facing the company. And we're especially pleased to be able to assist maybe newer members to the Commission in getting to know us as we move forward together. Again, with us today from our Suez team is obviously Tom Hubbard, our Manager of Public Affairs, Don Hollenbach, our General Manager and Vice President of our Mid-Atlantic Division, Walton Hill, our Senior Vice President of Regulatory Affairs, and as well as Gary Prettyman, our Senior Director of Regulatory Business. Next slide. Okay. So again, I'd like to begin today with our new name and new look. We are now Suez Water Delaware Incorporated, as we know from our recent name change approval. Most important to stress that this is a change in name only. We will provide the same high-level quality service, same professional leadership and staff, and that there's no change in ownership. Significant also is that no customer will pay 1 cent for any of the transition costs. Again, it's a change in name only to unite 50 companies in 70 countries under a unified brand. So how are we letting our customers know about our new name and unified identity? Multiple communication platforms are being utilized. From inside the bill envelope with bill messages and bill inserts, to billboards, newspaper advertisements, social media like Facebook and Twitter, and digital messaging in every zip code that we serve. Suez engaging our customer and the broader public alike, as well as customer service agents are armed with accurate information in fielding calls, and customers are invited to visit our new website, mysuezwater.com, to experience premium service as well as functionality. On this slide, we invite you to take a look at some of the kind of Suez messaging you see here. This can be on the Weather Channel, CNN.com, and other popular websites, as well as we'll be utilizing Facebook and Twitter. Again, the company is pleased to take these extraordinary steps to spread the news about our name without a single penny being paid for by the customers. Moving on, now under a unified single brand, Delaware is now part of a global workforce that's almost 81,000 strong. As you can see, Suez provides a broad range of environmental and resource management services around the globe. And we are pleased to bring this expertise to the local area here in Delaware. And yes, the company goes all the way back to the construction of the Suez Canal over 165 years ago. Moving a little closer to home, you can see that Suez in North America offers quite a robust range of quality services. More than 3,400 employees work to provide essential services like water and wastewater, solid waste handling and recycling, as well as public-private partnerships. Again, bringing global expertise, leveraging value, and economies of scale to solve local challenges and fulfill service needs. So bringing it home here to Delaware, we have stressed that this is change in name only. We are continue to commit to best serve our population of 100,000 in Newcastle County in our 55-mile square service territory. Every day, we serve our customers through a network of mains, if stacked side by side, would reach from here to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Our treatment plant, along with our above and below ground storage capabilities, are designed to provide reliable provisions of drinking water 365 days a year, allowing our residential, commercial, and industrial customers who depend on our essential services. We're proud to also exceed all federal and state water quality standards. Moving on, when you look at a key barometer of how we're doing, you want to look at how our customers are saying about us. Suez in Delaware is proud to report that our customer satisfaction ratings continue to be on the rise based on local responses from a national survey conducted by an outside firm. It's rewarding to see that we've reached a 94% customer satisfaction rating on our latest survey, and that customer satisfaction continues to trend in a positive direction. Similarly, how our customers gauge the value and level of our customer care is also an important yardstick when it comes to quality of service. Again, we are pleased that Suez in Delaware is trending favorably in regards to its commitment to providing superior service by continuing to focus on those whom we serve. We believe these high ratings reflect our focus on superior customer service. As a tracking mechanism, we've developed a set of key performance indicators. This important metric set is a standard of excellence and helps measure the success of our professional call center staff. You can see from the chart attached, you can see how busy our local call center can get. But even with the heavy volume that we can get, almost 98% of our calls are answered by a live person. On average, customers wait only 16 seconds to speak to a customer service representative. This exceptional performance is not the only provision that we're proud of. We're also proud to report that of our 38,000 meters in our system, on a monthly basis, over 98% are read, and we receive an actual read. To accomplish this goal of accurate actual meter reads and to best serve our customers, we've engaged in a multi-year meter upgrade program, replacing outdated technology and upgrading equipment is yielding these significant positive results with enhanced remote reading capabilities. Today, we read more meters more accurately in less time than we've ever did before. And in 2015 alone, we've invested $1.5 million on radio read upgrades. This project has enabled us to move to another customer service improvement as well, the move to monthly billing from the old quarterly cycles.
Chair Winslow, may I ask a question?
Yes, I apologize. I thought he was going to keep on going. Go ahead.
Okay. 14,000 meters, and I think you said you had 38,000 customer accounts, correct?
Correct.
When do you expect that the retrofitting or replacement will be completed?
Currently, our saturation is 80% of our customers are installed with this technology, and we have a goal of being 100% by 2016, so next year.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you, Chair Winslow.
All right, moving on, Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Moving on, in 2015, we fully transitioned all customers to monthly billing, and with that move came a number of benefits to the customer. First, in regards to leaks, any leaks on customer systems are more accurately and quickly identified, and the result is far fewer high bills for customers due to monthly billing, catching the leaks in 1/3 of the time. In addition, when we talk about conservation, customers are now easily able to look at the cause and effects of their usage and being able to adjust accordingly. And then lastly, it's really convenience. Again, especially for those customers that are on fixed incomes, with our move to monthly billing, that helps for them to do their monthly budget and falls in line with some of the other major utilities that they provide service to them. Keeping customers satisfied also entails significant investments into our critical components of our systems. Over the past 5 years, Suez in Delaware has invested approximately $134 million in capital projects to enhance service and reliability. This increasing level of investment reflects our commitment to quality, reliable service to our customers. An example of this kind of is a 15-year initiative to protect, improve, and maintain 6 of our largest, most seen assets in our distribution system, our elevated storage tanks. The summer of 2015 saw major upgrades and refurbishments to 4 of our largest tanks, and annual inspections and maintenance will be conducted thereafter to ensure integrity and reliability. Protecting assets and improving water service both flow from this innovative approach, leveraging the expertise of a national industry leader in the field. Our storage tanks are also now equipped with a brand new state-of-the-art communication system so that they can better talk to monitoring equipment at our main control room at our Stanton Water Treatment Plant. This supervisory, control, and data acquisition system, or SCADA, enables our treatment plant operators to more accurately and quickly detect and discern issues within our distribution system and our storage tanks, which in turn would affect customer service and service levels. Much like the diagnostic system that's in your car that your auto mechanic uses to find out the trouble codes in your car, this system helps our water treatment plant operators understand what's going on in our system so that they can better make the adjustments needed to provide continuous, reliable water service. Moving on to providing value in regards to the environment, our focus on energy use and its resulting carbon footprint is part of the rationale behind a sustainable approach to meeting stricter water quality standards. When new regulations prompted water purveyors in the 38 states to take action concerning a waterborne pathogen called Cryptosporidium, Suez in Delaware was the first in a 5-state region to seek approval on an innovative approach on source water protection. Our watershed control plan focuses on upstream of our treatment plant at Stanton to reduce the amounts of Cryptosporidium entering the water source from agricultural uses. This means we're able to maintain compliance, avoid costly treatment upgrades, as well as the energy and the carbon footprint that they would consume, and the cost would be passed on to our customers. There's also a wide array of environmental stewardship activities that were involved in Delaware. We support 2 of the largest and longest running river cleanups in Newcastle County. As well, we have helped to create the annual environmentally themed White Clay Creek Fest, which drew over 1,400 participants last year at the White Clay Creek State Park. We provide financial resources as well as the staff to educate festival goers about the importance of white clay being a source of drinking water in the area. We're also helping efforts to reestablish the American shad fish populations in White Clay Creek. By partnering with DENREC and limiting operations of our tidal capture structure at critical times to limit the impact on fish migration and patterns. The TCS is a nationally award-winning weir originally built with the encouragement of the state to enhance source water supply in times of low flows, as well as to block salt intrusion from coming up in the creek. We also support regional water-related training programs for teachers who then take that information back to educate students throughout the Delaware Valley. In discussions on conservation, we take many approaches to delivering the water conservation message. From face-to-face interactions like CreekFest to bill inserts, we spread the conservation message. We also provide a robust summer lawn watering conservation education program called the ET Index in conjunction with Rutgers University. On the slide up on the screen, if you notice in the lower left, is part of an annual promotion at Frawley Stadium. 140,000 stadium goers a year receive this message while the infield is being watered down before each home game for the Blue Rocks. The ET Index involves a research-grade weather station to gather daily measurements. Based on those daily conditions, we are able to inform our customers on how much they need to water their lawns, which is almost always less than what they think. The same technology is being utilized in our smart sprinkler study, where we're looking to see if we can use weather patterns to help to control automatic sprinkler systems. So we've talked a lot about what we're doing. At this point, we'd like to switch our focus to what we see as significant challenges ahead. Aging infrastructure, reduced demand, a shrinking industrial base, and ever more stringent regulations are key focus of the landscape ahead. Investing in infrastructure. The issue of our nation's aging infrastructure is no stranger to this commission or its counterparts across the country, especially in areas where the oldest water systems reside. The US EPA itself has put a hefty price tag on estimating what sorts of investments are needed to ensure public health and safety of the water infrastructure in this country. The approval of the Commission of the Distribution System Improvement Charge has been very helpful in getting infrastructure in the ground here in Delaware. Another challenge from a revenue perspective is the drop in per capita residential usage. Suez in Delaware has seen an 11% drop over a 10-year period. As always, this is a double-edged sword. While encouraging conservation, the revenue requirement needed to keep up a drinking water system is also definitely impacted. In regards to a shrinking industrial base, this is especially of interest to Suez and Delaware because we provide a large percentage of the water to industrial customers. The shrinking industrial base of our state, and specifically our service territory, is really taking a toll. We've all read lately about Chemours' announcement to close its Edgemoor pigment plant, to be finalized in March of next year. This alone will be a loss of over $1 million a year in revenue, and is part of a larger percentage in the reduction of demand in the industrial base. Also, but the latest trend, when you look at instances like Chrysler plant closing in Newark, as well as the steel plant closing in Claymont. And while it's not known the possible merger between DuPont and Dow, mergers typically result in cutbacks, not expansions. Moving on to upgrades, we have embarked with CDM on a master plan to address needs at our Stanton Water Treatment Plant. We've been able to look at needs, seek improvements and upgrades as part of this master plan, which again will focus around 5 key areas, being finished water storage, raw water intake, clarification process, residuals handling, and electrical needs. We're looking to invest in the neighborhood of $20 to $30 million over 5 years at the Stanton Water Treatment Plant. Another challenge that Suez and Delaware faces is an aging workforce. This is not solely affecting Suez, as we are in a mature industry. We're looking to see increased retirements from our loyal and dedicated employees, and Suez is going to be challenged with developing succession plans and making sure that the new generation of utility workers have the skills needed to demonstrate to do the job. Another challenge ahead is going to be cybersecurity. Again, looking where we have a robust corporate program that ensures that we have security both on our operational databases as well as our customer information databases to ensure that our operation can run 365 days a year uninterrupted and that our customer information is secure. Moving on to our most recent rate relief. While we face the challenges ahead, if you look back at our rate case history, you'll see that out of the 3 Class A investor-owned water utilities in Delaware, we've actually gone the longest without requesting rate relief in a general filing. Our last filing actually dates back more than 5 years, and the resulting outcome of that was an addition of $2.30 a month on the average residential bill. So we began our presentation today talking about barometers of the value we provide to our customers. In that case, reporting on high customer satisfaction ratings. It's somewhat fitting that we end our presentation here on a key measure of value proposition to our customers, the cost of our water service. If you compare rates, again, against the 3 largest investor-owned utilities here in Delaware, we are the least expensive while providing the same high water quality and either meeting or exceeding state and federal water quality standards. So in conclusion, we are pleased to report on high customer satisfaction, low price, and high quality of service. I again would like to thank the Commission for giving us the opportunity to join you today to give this State of the Company presentation. I'm hopeful it was informational and helpful to all parties involved. It was my pleasure to address you today, and I'm here to take any questions that you may have. Thank you.
I have a couple questions. First of all, you mentioned in here that you drain the storage tanks every 2 years.
Sure.
Where does the water go?
The water goes back into our distribution system.
It's not wasted?
It's not, the water's not wasted, yes.
Yeah. So do you paint those things, those storage tanks? Do you paint the outside?
Yes, the storage tanks are painted both on the inside. They're cleaned and painted on the inside as well as cleaned and painted on the outside.
Because I did know, it was in North Wilmington on Sunday, and I was getting gas, and I was looking around, and I noticed a big old storage tank up there on 202. It was pretty rusty.
Yeah, that's...
Anybody been up there lately?
That's not yours, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure the location. We have the Devon storage tank on 202 over by the Concord Mall.
Yeah.
And that is slated for painting on... Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, that is slated for painting in the spring.
Yeah.
That's the United Water Tower.
And I like that you said that you have a saturation rate when you're talking about retrofitting your meters, so that pun did not go unnoticed. And thirdly, to what do you attribute the decline in residential water usage of 15%?
We believe that the reduction in residential is due to the retrofitting of fixtures as well as newer appliances that are more energy efficient, use less water, as well as low-flow toilets that are being installed.
I have.
Yes, Mr. Correa.
It's a very good report.
Thank you.
What I would have liked to see would be one page on some ratios on your balance sheet, like capital to debt ratio, your dividend trend, your bond rating, so that, because we as Commission would like to see a strong company, profitable company, but strong company, because we want continuity in utility. So maybe a one page of publicly published information. Basic ratios, not very heavy financial, but as I mentioned, debt and capital and bond rating or what have you, that would make me, I'm happy, that would make me happier.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Gray.
Thank you. Very nice presentation. I have 4 questions. The Suez demand declined 11% in Delaware since 2004. So how does Delaware's demand trend compare overall to the rest of Suez's North American business?
I think it's very much in line with what we're seeing across the industry in regards to declining demand in the residential classification. I don't have the figures in front of me, Obviously, the Delaware River Basin Commission, which regulates the withdrawals on the 4 states that touch the Delaware River, reported a 15% decrease in that same time period. So again, very similar.
Some of the same factors probably at play.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the same factors.
Second question.
Commissioner Drexler addressed.
Where is your central headquarters, global?
Central headquarters for Suez North America is in Paramus, New Jersey.
Global, where's your
global? Is in Paris, France.
Where's your global research and innovation done?
Our global research and innovation, I think, is done across the globe on every continent.
So it's distributed. Good. Yes. And one last question. Have you considered selling your customer service best practices as another line of business and revenue source?
We have not.
Might think about it.
Thank you for the update. Thank you for the...
I have a question on the aging workforce page. The last item is skill development needs. Can you expand a little bit on that?
Sure, absolutely, Commissioner. Really looking at obviously we have an aging workforce that has a lot of skills, has a lot of knowledge. They will be transitioning out of the workforce into retirement. We're looking to, at the next generation, to ensure that there is obviously succession and there's knowledge transfer, but also when you look at the different licenses that our employees need to have, especially when you look at production operators, the different operator licenses with the endorsements, to ensure that, again, that we can have employees that are able to obtain those licenses, get those endorsements so that they can be fully functional and have the skill set they need to do the job.
And does Suez provide that education?
They do, yeah. Suez will provide that education, or they will pay for those employees to get that education through various programs that are available out there, especially through Delaware Rural Water and some other industry outfits.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Mr. Finnegan, you did an excellent job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate that very much.
We do appreciate Mr. Hubbard very much, because I remember that when he came on board, I thought that United always did a good job, but I think that he sort of raised things to a different level, and the communications from United now Suez has always been, I think, very good for the public, and so that's much appreciated. And it sounds really great. I mean, you're doing well, and we wish you well with your new name. I'm sure it's going to be a good brand name, and we look forward to seeing you in here for your next rate increase.
Thank you. I appreciate the support. I want to wish everyone at the Commission, as well as the Public Advocate, a very happy holiday.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Howard.
Chairman Winslow, Commissioners, thank you, Larry. I appreciate everything that you brought to the table. Perhaps for the aging workforce, we may have an opening for Mr. Hubbard, because he did such a fine job in clicking through the slides. It's probably one of the best clicking jobs I've seen in a long time. He really kept up with you. So we really appreciate you guys, all of you, Suez Water Delaware, coming in and presenting your state of the company. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I would like at this time to ask Mr. Farber if he would come up and brief the Commission on a few federal issues that are still outstanding out there.
Thank you, Mr. Howard. Chairman Winslow, Commissioners, good afternoon. This item is to provide an update on, as Mr. Howard explained, some federal issues that have come up, mainly concerning Artificial Island. As the Commission may recall, we're very concerned and involved in the Artificial Island project, particularly the cost allocation aspect of it, which would assign roughly 90% of the costs with about 10% of the benefits. We found that not to be fair, so in conjunction with the Maryland Public Service Commission, we filed a complaint with the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. That was filed August 28th. And there were various answers and cross motions filed, et cetera. We finally got an order out of the Commission addressing our complaint on November the 24th. It accepted PJM's tariff filing concerning the cost allocations of Artificial Island, but it suspended those pending the outcome of the complaint dockets and established a technical conference to address some issues. So there's good news and bad news. In my opinion, it was a significant achievement to have the commission more or less agree that there could be issues concerning just and reasonable rates as a result of cost allocation that have been previously approved for these types of projects. Up to now, complaints to the commission regarding cost allocation not being roughly commensurate with the benefits was basically dismissed on the grounds that this was a previously approved cost allocation methodology, and it reflected PJM's commission-approved tariff. Therefore, there's nothing to be seen here. Just keep moving, and everything will be fine. Essentially, what the TOs and PJM have argued is that even if there are, in certain circumstances, significant differences between the allocation of cost and commensurate benefits, that doesn't matter because on an overall basis, the cost allocation that's being used and has been approved by the commission produces just and reasonable results. So to have the commission agree that in some cases this is not acceptable is a significant achievement. And I guess the bad news is, and it's, as Mr. Howe has artfully described, we've pulled the shark into the rowboat. What the FERC order has required is for us to now identify that category of projects which could produce allocation of costs that were not roughly commensurate with the benefits, and additionally to identify a cost allocation methodology that would address this disparity between the allocation of costs and the benefits. So we've been in discussions. The order directed FERC staff to establish a technical conference, which was established in a notice for January the 12th. We've been in discussions with our attorneys as well as other participants in our filing, and we will be proceeding to a technical conference on January 12th to address the issues identified by the Commission concerning Artificial Island. So I'll have another update for you early next year. I guess I should also address a sub-issue concerning Artificial Island in that the LS Power entity that will be actually filing for recovery of costs did file before the FERC their proposed formula rate, and that is also subject to our review. We are currently reviewing it for potential protests that have to be filed by December the 23rd. And those are the Artificial Island issues. I would certainly would look forward to any questions you may have on Artificial Island at this time.
Maybe a quick question on the process. You mentioned the technical conference on the 12th of January. Is this a staff, legal, or commissioner? Is it here? Is it in D.C.? What can you give more information?
Thank you, Commissioner Gregg. Yes, that technical conference is kind of an amalgamation of all three. It's a staff technical conference. However, in their notice, they indicated that the commissioners may at least appear, if not participate. So they've asked for all the parties to identify who they intend to designate to represent. That has to be filed by the 18th. By January the 6th, comments have to be filed if they're going to be filed, and then on the 12th, it will be held in D.C. To address the issues noted in the Commission's order. Welcome. there's no questions on that while I'm up here, I could also convey my regrets for not being able to attend tomorrow's meeting. I know there was a great many staff who were looking forward to my participation in the potluck, but that will not occur, maybe next year. Actually, what happened was that there was a settlement conference in the cost allocation remand concerning transmission facilities that the Illinois Commerce Commission had taken to the Court of Appeals. It was remanded back to FERC and has been subject to settlement discussions. If you recall, we went into an executive session to discuss that issue, and I guess I would take this opportunity to maybe give you a heads up that this is probably the last settlement conference that will be held. The judge has indicated that he's ready to declare an impasse if there's no settlement achieved. So early next year, I will be requesting executive session to provide you my recommendations as to how to proceed in that issue. But I hope you all have a very good holiday meeting tomorrow.
Mr. Farber, thank you very much for your update. We will miss you tomorrow, and I can assure you I've never had anybody tell me that you couldn't cut the mustard.
Mr. Chair, if I might. Mr. Farber, with full disclosure, I can't make it tomorrow either, but I'm surprised and amazed that you can't send shark steaks.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, John.
Mr. Farber, thank you very much. But I can't really take the attributes that you attribute to me. As I walked into the office the first day after we found the FERC notice of technical conference, it was Mr. Farber who said, "We have the shark in the rowboat. What do we do with it now?" I think we are still working on the what do we do with it now. I would also like to point out that Mr. Farber, I believe, has agreed to be a panelist at the FERC technical conference. So we'll not only have our high-priced consultant there, but we'll have Mr. Farber sharing mustard sandwiches with the commission.
Well, Mr. Farber should consider putting one of his lawyers in the rowboat, so it'll be a little professional courtesy.
We'll take all those under advisement.
But best wishes.
I think when Mr. Farber sent out the notice, I think the reply from some of us was unique.
Is that it, Mr. Howitt?
I do have just a couple small items. Number one, as you've heard reference to, we'll be having our holiday party here at the commission office tomorrow afternoon, starting, I understand, about 12 noon. If you have any filings or need any information from the commission, I suggest you do it early in the morning, and don't call us in the afternoon. I apologize to those of you who didn't get an invite to our holiday party. Just consider it a personal affront from the Public Service. We have our next commission meeting, Chairman Winslow, Commissioners, on January the 5th. That's first Tuesday in January. And it'll be starting at 1 o'clock, as most of our meetings are. I do have a special request from Ms. Contant, who would like to be able to take a picture of the commissioners one more time. Maybe just kind of like, end of year, here's what they looked like back in 2020.
Okay. Okay, thank you, everyone. The meeting is adjourned.
February